Hello everyone, my name is David. Today we are going to take a look at another horrible case with you. In the Nalgonda district of Telangana, India, there was a wealthy family living in a small village called Mutti Redikunta. However, on January 30th, 2018, the head of the household, Tirunagaru Maruthi Rao, was not at home. He had actually traveled to Hyderabad, the capital city of Telangana, for some work, while his wife, Girjarani, was asleep at home. Maruthi Rao, a millionaire, had also established a school in his daughter Amrutha's name on their property. On that particular day, none of the servants who worked at the school or in their home were present. Taking advantage of this opportunity on the night of January 13th, Maruthi Rao's daughter, Amrutha Varshini, called her boyfriend and asked him to meet her outside her house. By the time Amrutha's boyfriend, Pranay Perumala, arrived outside her house with his car, Amrutha had already packed her belongings. Pranay then picked her up and the two of them traveled 92 miles over the course of 3 hours to reach Hyderabad, the capital of Telangana. There they got married at an Arya Samaj temple in a locality called Lakshmi Nagar. In India, if a man is at least 21 years old and a woman is at least 18, they can legally marry in a temple without their parents' consent. If both belong to the Hindu religion, they can marry under the Hindu Marriage Act of 1955, but they must later register their marriage legally. However, if the couple belongs to different religions, they must marry under the Special Marriage Act of 1954, which requires a 30-day notice period. To get married in a temple, the couple must provide valid identification, age verification documents, and 2 witnesses. While some temples issue marriage certificates, these are not legally valid without government registration. If a couple faces threats, they can seek police protection or legal assistance. Pranay and Amrutha would also have to face such threats, but at that point neither of their families had any clue about their marriage. However, when Amrutha's family realized she was not at home, Maruthi Rao went to a nearby police station and filed a missing person complaint for his daughter. In his complaint, he also accused Pranay of kidnapping Amrutha. But there was a specific reason why Maruthi Rao suspected Pranay, which will be revealed later in this video. Following his complaint, the Telangana police began searching for Amrutha and Pranay. The investigation lasted for a few weeks before the police eventually found them and brought them back to their village. During questioning, Amrutha told the police that they were not minors. Both were of legal marriageable age, and they had eloped and married of their own free will without anyone forcing them. However, during that interrogation, Amrutha made a bold statement, declaring that she wanted to stay with her husband, Pranay, rather than return to her father, Maruthi Rao's house. She asserted that they had the right to live together wherever they wanted. Following this, Pranay took Amrutha to his home, which was not far from hers. However, even there, the couple faced initial resistance, as Pranay's parents also disapproved of the marriage, given that they had eloped. His parents even tried to send Amrutha back to her home, but in response, she told her in-laws that she could not live without Pranay. She warned them that if they pressured her too much, she would end her life. After hearing this, Pranay's parents had no choice but to accept Amrutha as their daughter-in-law. However, during this time, Pranay also revealed to his parents that Amrutha was 4 months pregnant, which further compelled them to accept her. Eventually, Pranay's father, Balaswamy, and mother, Hemalata, wholeheartedly embraced the couple. On August 17, 2018, Pranay's parents hosted a grand wedding reception for their son and daughter-in-law. They invited numerous relatives to the event, and before the reception, the newlywed couple even had a pre-wedding photo shoot and video shoot. Since Amrutha was pregnant at the time, she frequently had to visit the hospital for routine checkups. By then, even Pranay's parents were taking care of her, responsibly accompanying her to the hospital. However, in September 2018, Amrutha's health started deteriorating, and on September 14, 2018, Pranay, his mother Hemalatha, and Amruta visited Jyoti Hospital near their home for a checkup. Around 1:30 p.m., after completing Amruta's checkup, the three of them were heading back home when an unknown man started following them, holding a weapon in his hand. Within seconds, the man struck Pranay's neck twice with the weapon. The sudden attack from behind left Pranay unable to counter the assault. The attacker did not harm Amruta or Pranay's mother, Hemalatha. However, the two fatal blows to Pranay's neck caused excessive blood loss, and upon seeing the blood, Amruta immediately fainted. The killer quickly fled the crime scene on a scooter. Meanwhile, a bystander checked Pranay's pulse and breathing. Shortly after, the bystander called the police, reporting, "A man has just been murdered outside Jyoti Hospital. Please arrive at the scene immediately." Yes, you heard that right. Pranay succumbed to the attack on the spot, and as a result, no one attempted to take his body to the hospital. Meanwhile, the unconscious Amruta was admitted to the hospital. Since the attacker had targeted only Pranay, despite him never having conflicts with anyone, Pranay's parents directly accused Amruta's father, Tirunagaru Maruthi Rao, of orchestrating their son's murder. Since the attack took place in broad daylight outside a major hospital, the case quickly went viral on news and social media. CCTV footage of the incident also surfaced, clearly showing the unknown man attacking Pranay. In response, supporters of certain depressed classes leagues, some politicians, and the general public rallied behind Pranay's family. The next day, September 15th, the entire village of Muthi Reddy Kunta was shut down. Additionally, people took to the streets, demanding the swift arrest of Pranay's killers. Some even gathered outside local police stations, questioning law enforcement about the growing fearlessness of criminals. As pressure mounted on the Telangana police, they swiftly formed multiple investigation teams. Even the superintendent of police for Nalgonda district, where Muthi Reddy Kunta village was located, personally took charge of the Pranay murder case investigation. After this, the police first interrogated Pranay's family. However, throughout the questioning, Pranay's father, Balaswamy, and mother, Hemalatha, insisted that Amruta's father, Maruthi Rao, was behind their son's murder. Meanwhile, Pranay's wife, Amruta Varshini, regained consciousness 2 days after Pranay's murder on September 16, 2018. But while she was still in the hospital, the police informed her that her husband, Pranay, had passed away. Upon hearing this, Amruta completely broke down and began crying uncontrollably. Her grief was so profound that even Pranay's parents could not console her. However, after some time, she was somehow calmed down, and she too told the police that she suspected her father, Maruthi Rao, had orchestrated her husband, Pranay Perumala's murder. In addition to this, Amruta also accused her uncle, Shravan Rao, of being involved in Pranay's murder. In fact, before her marriage, both her father and uncle had placed many restrictions on her. However, Amruta and Pranay's love story began when they both studied at the well-known Kakataya Concept School in their locality. When Amruta was in the 9th grade, Pranay was in a senior class. Since they studied at the same school, they quickly became friends because they lived in the same neighborhood and were already familiar with each other. They shared a strong bond during school, and at that time neither Amruta's nor Pranay's parents knew about it. However, after completing her schooling, Amruta moved to Hyderabad, the capital city of Telangana, for higher education. There, she pursued a bachelor's degree in technology at the International Institute of Fashion Designing. A Bachelor of Technology degree focuses on the technical and practical aspects of engineering and technology and is typically completed in 4 years. During that time, Pranay also moved to Hyderabad to continue his studies. He enrolled at the Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology to study engineering. Both of them had left their small locality and moved far away to an unfamiliar city. However, for a long time, neither of them realized that they were in the same city. But one day they found out they were both in Hyderabad, so they planned to meet again. When Pranay and Amrutha met after several months since their school days, they had a long conversation. After this first meeting, they started meeting frequently, and their friendship deepened even further. Over time, their friendship turned into attraction, and that attraction eventually blossomed into love. However, after some time, their families found out about their relationship. Both families opposed their union because Amrutha's parents wanted her to marry a groom of their choice. On the other hand, Pranay's family also did not approve of the relationship. Despite this, Amrutha and Pranay ignored their family's objections and continued to meet as before. As the new year of 2017 arrived, their relationship grew even stronger. But by then, Amrutha's father had learned about it, which greatly troubled Maruthi Rao. Now, Amrutha's father tells his daughter to leave her studies and return home from Hyderabad. Amrutha returns home and her father starts looking for a groom for her, as she had also reached the age of marriage. However, Amrutha soon learns about this, and in the last week of January 2018, she tries to contact Pranay again. Over the phone, Amrutha tells Pranay, "I don't want to marry anyone else. I only want to marry you. If that doesn't happen, I will take my own life." Hearing this, Pranay has no choice but to agree, and the two of them plan to elope and get married. What happened next, how Amrutha ran away from home, and where and how they got married, was already discussed at the beginning of the video. Amrutha's father, Tirunagaru Maruthi Rao, was a well-known real estate developer and businessman in his district. However, in 1993, he started his career with a small ration shop. Gradually, he came into contact with some prominent politicians and businessmen in the city, and with their help, he used his savings and some funding to start his own real estate business. Over his career, Maruthi Rao built and sold thousands of residences. Additionally, he owned several acres of vacant land, some of which were agricultural. He also developed a few shopping malls. Over his 25-year career, Maruthi Rao amassed wealth worth 200 crore Indian rupees. When converted to US dollars at today's exchange rate, this amounts to $23,169,628. However, Maruthi Rao was also entangled in several court cases related to land fraud. There were even allegations that he had acquired some properties under the names of some close relatives and trusted employees, without them having any knowledge of it. Despite everything, Maruthi Rao was very attached to his daughter, Amrutha. He even opened a school under her name on the top 2 floors of their house. However, when Pranay entered Amrutha's life, tensions arose between father and daughter. Amrutha's mother, Girja Rani, maintained her relationship with her daughter, but the dark secrets of Maruthi Rao's lavish life started coming to light when, a few days after Pranay's death, Amrutha shared all the terrible experiences she had endured with the media and the police. She revealed that her father and uncle, Shravan Rao, had imposed strict restrictions on her since childhood. From a young age, they had instilled in her that she should not interact with people from other religions or lower castes. On the other hand, Amrutha believed that all people were equal and should be treated as such. Because of this mentality, she befriended Pranay at school. But when Maruthi Rao found out about this friendship, he stopped sending Amrutha to school altogether. Using his contacts, he even arranged for Amrutha to take her exams from home. Once she finished school, Maruthi Rao sent her to Hyderabad for higher education to keep her away from Pranay. However, by coincidence, Pranay was also studying there, and their friendship rekindled. During this time, Maruthi Rao frequently called his daughter to ask if she was still in touch with Pranay, but each time Amrutha lied to her father. But then, in their second year of college, when Amrutha and Pranay get some holidays, they both return to their village and home. One day, they make plans to watch a movie and head to a nearby theater. However, somehow, Amrutha's father, Maruthi Rao, and her uncle, Shravan Rao, find out about it. The 2 Rao brothers then go to the theater and forcibly take Amrutha back home. In an interview with The Quint, an Indian digital news and opinion website, Amrutha later revealed that her uncle had beaten her with dumbbells and sticks.
Discontinued my studies, and my dad's brother met me with the dumbbells and those things. They didn't even allow me to talk even with my cousins.
She was even locked in a room and was not allowed to speak to her cousin siblings. After this incident, Maruthi Rao called Pranay's father, Balaswamy, to his office and warned him, saying, "Keep your son away from my daughter, or something very bad will happen at my hands." After this threat, Pranay's father advised him to stay away, and respecting his father's words, Pranay stopped talking to Amrutha for several days. But when Amrutha found out that her father was planning to marry her off to someone else, she somehow managed to contact Pranay. During their conversation, Amrutha told Pranay, "If I marry, it will be only you, otherwise I will end my life." Hearing this, Pranay had no choice but to agree in order to save Amrutha's life. After this, the two of them ran away and got married. A few months after their wedding, Pranay took a huge risk and brought Amrutha home, and their life was going well. Despite living with Pranay, Amrutha remained in touch with her mother, Girija Rani, as she was the only one in her family who understood her love. During one of their conversations, Amrutha revealed to her mother that she was pregnant and would soon become a mother. However, Girija Rani shared this news with Amrutha's father, Maruthi Rao. Although he did not react immediately, some media reports suggested that he later summoned Pranay and told him, "Leave Amrutha and get her abortion done as soon as possible, and in return you will receive 30 million rupees. But Pranay flatly refused the offer, and when he told Amrutha about it, she also rejected the money her father had offered. Following this conversation, Amrutha and Pranay went to the police, narrated their entire story, and sought protection. A senior police officer spoke to Maruthi Rao and told him, "Your daughter is not a minor, so she has the full right to choose her husband. Please stop interfering in her life." Additionally, the police advised Pranay's family to install CCTV cameras outside their house for security. However, after Pranay Perumala's murder, the police began questioning Maruthi Rao about the events of September 14th. But during the interrogation, Maruthi Rao outright denied orchestrating Pranay's killing. He further stated that he could not have had Pranay murdered because, on September 14th, he was in the Joint Collector's office in Nalgonda district for some important work. Afterward, he met with the district's Deputy Superintendent of Police. Interestingly, when the police cross-checked Maruthi Rao's statements, they all turned out to be true. But as the investigation expanded, the police decided to track Maruthi Rao's call records and location history. During this inquiry, the name of a well-known city transport businessman, Abdul Karim, emerged. As they dug into Abdul Karim's background, the police found another suspect named Asghar Ali. As a matter of fact, Asghar Ali had previously been involved in the murder of a prominent politician. That's why the police now interrogated Maruthi Rao, Abdul Karim, and Asghar Ali together in their own way. During this interrogation, Maruthi Rao broke down after a short while and admitted that he had ordered the murder of Pranay. He then revealed the names of 5 more people involved in the crime. This brought the total number of accused to 8, and by September 18th, the police had arrested 7 of them. The 8 accused included Maruthi Rao at number 1, the hired killer Subhash Kumar Sharma at number 2, Asghar Ali at number 3, Abdul Bari at number 4, Abdul Karim at number 5, Maruthi Rao's younger brother Shravan Rao at number 6, Maruthi Rao's driver Samudrala Shiva at number 7, and a suspect named M.A. Nizam at number 8. Additionally, the second accused, Subhash Sharma, was a resident of Samastipur in the eastern Indian state of Bihar. After committing the murder, he had fled back to his home state, since the distance between Muthareddy Kunta and Samastipur was 1,056 miles and took approximately 30 hours to cover. The police were delayed in capturing him. However, on September 17th, 2018, just 3 days after Pranay's murder, Telangana police, with the help of Samastipur police, managed to apprehend Subhash. This was when the full story of how the crime was planned and the motive behind Pranay Perumala's murder came to light. Maruthi Rao had paid a contract fee of 10 million Indian rupees for Pranay's murder, which, based on today's currency rates, amounts to approximately $115,745. First, Maruthi Rao contacted Abdul Karim, who then introduced him to Asghar Ali and Abdul Bari. After that, Abdul Bari and Asghar Ali reached out to Subhash Sharma, a professional contract killer. In fact, Maruthi Rao had started planning Pranay's murder as early as June and July of 2018. They attempted to execute the plan about 4 times during this period, but each time an obstacle prevented them from succeeding. One such incident occurred exactly 1 month before Pranay's murder on August 14, 2018. That day, Pranay was with a friend, and Subhash got confused when he saw 2 young men, unsure which one was his target. As a result, he had to cancel the plan. In this way, there were about 4 different failed attempts to kill Pranay within just 1 month. Finally, on September 13th, Maruthi Rao learned from his wife, Girja Rani, that their daughter was going to Jyoti Hospital for a routine checkup. Even after marrying Pranay, Amrutha continued speaking with her mother, and during one of their conversations, she casually mentioned that she would be visiting the hospital the next day for a checkup. Girja Rani passed this information to her husband, Maruthi Rao, without any ill intentions. She had no idea that he was secretly planning to kill his son-in-law. However, once Maruthi Rao received this information, he immediately shared it with his accomplices. The killers then took advantage of the opportunity and, in broad daylight on September 14th, brutally murdered Pranay. Besides this, the reason behind Pranay's murder was that he belonged to the oppressed Dalit Christian caste and had married Amrutha, a girl from the upper caste Vaishya community. In fact, India's caste system has historically divided people into 4 main groups: Brahmins, who were priests and teachers; Kshatriyas, who were warriors and rulers; Vaishyas, who were merchants and traders; and Shudras, who were laborers and workers. However, outside this system were the Dalits, who were once referred to as untouchables and faced some of the worst discrimination in history. Although this system was originally meant to organize society, over time, caste-based discrimination intensified, particularly during medieval India under some Hindu rulers and later during the Mughal rule. However, the British further reinforced this system by classifying people based on caste for administrative purposes. Because of this, after Pranay and Amrutha's marriage, Maruthi Rao developed the mindset that, as someone from the upper caste Vaishya community, his daughter should not have married a lower caste Dalit Christian. In reality, Maruthi Rao was extremely proud of his caste, and when Amrutha married Pranay, he felt that it was an insult to his honor. To him, their marriage was nothing less than humiliation. When Pranay and Amrutha's pre-wedding video shoot was uploaded on Facebook, it received a lot of views and likes. Seeing this video deeply upset Maruthi Rao, and from that moment he began planning Pranay Perumala's murder. Maruthi Rao was so consumed by his caste pride that he ignored the fact that his daughter was truly happy in this marriage. In an interview with The Quint, Amrutha revealed that her father often told her, "My prestige and status are more important than you and your happiness."
He always used to tell me that our status and prestige is more important than you and your happiness.
Eventually, all the perpetrators were taken into judicial custody, and during the investigation, the police recovered the weapon used in Pranay's murder. Additionally, the police gathered all necessary forensic, technical, and other evidence. During their investigation, they discovered that on September 14th, Maruthi Rao had deliberately visited senior officials in his city to establish an alibi, proving that he was not in the area when Pranay was killed. Generally in India, courts have a 90-day time frame to file a charge sheet in such serious cases. However, in this case, it took the police 9 months to submit the charge sheet. Explaining the delay, the Telangana police stated that it was due to delays in the forensic report. In total, the police investigated 102 people and recorded statements from many of them. Based on the evidence and testimonies, they compiled a 600-page charge sheet, which was submitted to the Special SC and ST Court in Nalgonda district on June 12, 2019. After this, the trial began, and in the meantime, the Telangana Rashtra Samiti government offered Amrutha 800,000 rupees, a government job, a house, and special farmland as compensation. However, Amrutha and Pranay's family refused everything except the 400,000 they had received for Pranay's funeral expenses. They made it clear that they only wanted justice, nothing else. However, on the other hand, due to the police filing a late charge sheet in court, 3 accused individuals benefited. In fact, all the accused had filed for bail while in jail. As a result, on April 27, 2019, just 8 months after their arrest, Maruthi Rao, his brother Shravan Rao, and Abdul Karim were granted bail. After that, these 3 individuals used their influence to stay out of jail for a long time and got busy with their daily lives. During this period, on March 7, 2020, Maruthi Rao went to Hyderabad's Khairatabad area with his driver for some work. There, he booked 2 separate rooms in a hotel, one for himself and one for his driver. Maruthi Rao stayed in room number 306 on the 3rd floor. Later in the evening on March 7th, he had a meeting over the phone with some businessmen and also spoke with his wife. Around 8 p.m., he went out to a restaurant for dinner. Before going to bed, he told his driver that they had to meet a lawyer at the High Court the next morning and instructed him to be ready by 8:30 a.m. The night of March 7th passed, and on the morning of March 8th, the driver went to Maruthi Rao's room at 8:30 a.m. as instructed and knocked on the door. However, Maruthi Rao did not open it. The driver then tried calling him, but he did not answer. Concerned, the driver eventually called Maruthi Rao's wife, Girja Rani, and informed her about the situation. Soon after, Girja Rani also tried calling him, and some hotel staff members gathered outside room number 306. When Maruthi Rao did not open the door for a long time, the hotel staff broke it down. Inside, they found Maruthi Rao lying lifeless on the bed. The hotel staff immediately informed the police. After investigating, the police sent Maruthi Rao's body to Osmania General Hospital for a post-mortem examination. The post-mortem report revealed that the cause of death was poisoning. During the police investigation, it became clear that Maruthi Rao knew he would lose the case and had become fearful of the disgrace it would bring. That is why, after being released on bail, he told his daughter Amrutha, "Withdraw the case because I deeply regret my actions." However, Amrutha remained firm in her decision, which led Maruthi Rao into depression. On the night of March 7th, he arranged for poison with the help of a friend who owned a fertilizer shop. Upon returning to his room, he first wrote a note apologizing to Amrutha and telling her, "Stay with your mother." After that, Maruthi Rao consumed the poison himself. When Maruthi Rao's last rites were being performed, his daughter Amrutha also arrived under police protection. However, some of her relatives stopped her, saying that Maruthi Rao had taken his own life because of her, and therefore she had no right to pay her last respects. A massive crowd had gathered for Maruthi Rao's funeral, and due to the opposition from people, Amrutha had to leave without seeing her father's body. Later, in an interview, Amrutha stated that her father could not have taken this step on his own, and that she believed his brother, Shravan Rao, might have pressured him to do so in order to claim the property. However, Shravan Rao later spoke to the media, stating that there was no dispute between the two brothers over property,